morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again for our time together. We're here on Mount Carmel again, and I want to take you back with me to Mark chapter 6, beginning with verse 30, and talk about a little word called rest. When the apostles returned to Jesus and told him all they had done and taught, that's accountability in the ministry, learning to report what you have done and what you have taught. And he said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a desolate place and rest for a while." For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure to even eat. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to understand, Jesus was a hard worker. And the fact that they didn't even have the leisure to eat, the fact that they were so pushed by the needs of the people, they didn't even have time to eat. So when you begin to wonder if Jesus laid around in a swimming pool, speaking in tongues and being lazy all day long, remember this verse. Jesus did not even have time to eat. But I also want you to notice that Jesus recognized that the humanity in him and the humanity in his disciples, that they needed some rest. So he said, let's go over to the other side, to a desolate place where there's no people, and we're going to get some rest. Now, they start to go over there, and then all of a sudden, many saw him coming and going, verse 30, and recognized him, and they ran there on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of him. And he went ashore and saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. I want you to notice, Jesus didn't get mad at people because they interrupted his rest. He did not get mad at them because they interrupted his need for rest. He did not get mad at them because they ran ahead of them in their excitement. And when he thought he and his apostles were going to get a little rest, they got there to the shore and they had another crowd waiting for them. He didn't get upset about it. He had compassion on them. And he expressed that compassion by teaching them. But Jesus still needed some alone time. He still needed some rest. So you come over to verse 45, and immediately he made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side to Bethsaida, while he dismissed the crowd. And after he had taken leave of them, he was alone, he went up on the mountain to pray. So Jesus still needed rest. Now, brothers and sisters, all of us in this busy Metro Manila with the crowds pressing upon us and the pressures of life and the pressures of time and the pressures of traffic, you need to get away sometimes to a quiet place, to a desolate place and rest. A place where there's no people, a place where there's no traffic, and you just get some rest. Now, sometimes that greatly desired and needed rest gets interrupted by people's needs, and you don't get upset about it. You just take care of people. But it doesn't mean that you don't need to rest. You just don't keep going. Jesus went up on the mountain by himself, and he prayed. Sometimes the greatest rest is found, number one, in a quiet place of prayer all by yourself. In the solitude of prayer and in his presence, you'll always find rest. So sometimes, if your rest has been interrupted, the quiet solitude of prayer, the quiet solitude of his presence, there you'll find rest.